Hi kids! Thank you for continue joining our Christmas activity, and I see that you really enjoy doing our ornaments for your Christmas tree. Now we are on our day 6, and our day 6 is about the present. Okay, let's listen to our story for today. Our story for today, the present, is from Genesis chapter 22. God knew that his secret plan could only work if Abraham trusted him completely. God had made sure Abraham would do whatever he asked. So, a few years later, God asked Abraham to give him a present. Abraham liked giving present to God. He gave God his animals. They were called sacrifices, and they were a way to say, I love you to God. But this time, God didn't want a lamb or a goat. God wanted Abraham to give him something more, much more. He wanted Abraham to give him his son, his only son, the son he loved, Isaac. Put his boy on the altar and kill him as a sacrifice? How could God want him to do such a terrible thing? Abraham did not understand, but he knew that God was his father who loved him. So, Abraham trusted him. Early next morning, Abraham and Isaac set off. They climbed the steep, stony trail up the mountain. Isaac carried the wood on his back. His father carried the knife and the coals. Papa, Isaac said, we have everything except we forgot the lamb for sacrifice. God will give us the lamb, son, Abraham said. They built an altar and laid the wood on top. Abraham asked his son to climb on top of the wood. Isaac didn't understand, but he knew his father loved him, and so he trusted him. He climbed up onto the altar, and Abraham tied his boy to the wood. Isaac didn't struggle or try to run away. He just lay there quietly and didn't make a sound. Everything was ready. Abraham took his knife. Tears were filled in his eyes. Pain was filling up his heart. His hand was shaking. He lifted the knife high into the air. Stop, God said. Don't hurt the boy. I want him to live, not die. I now know that you love me because you would have given me your only son. Abraham felt his heart leap. Abraham felt his heart leap with joy. He unbound Isaac and folded him in his arm. Great sob shook the old man's whole body. Scalding tears filled his eye, and for a long time they stayed there like that, in each other's arm, the boy and his dad. Suddenly, Abraham saw a ram caught in some brambles, the sacrifice. God had given them what they needed just in time. The ram would die so Isaac didn't have to. And so Abraham sacrificed the ram instead of his son. And as they sat there on the mountain top, watching the ember of the fire died in a cool night air, the stars above them sparkling in the velvet sky. God helped Abraham and Isaac Understand something. God wanted His people to live, not die. God wanted to rescue His people, not punish them. But they must trust Him. One day, someone will be born in your family. God promised them. And He will bring happiness to the whole world. God was getting ready to give the whole world a wonderful present. It would be God's way to tell His people, I love you. Many years later, another son would climb another hill, carrying wood on his back, like Isaac. He would trust his father and do what his father asked. He wouldn't struggle or run away. Who was he? God's son. His only son, the son he loved, the Lamb of God. That is our story for today. Our story for today is about a great sacrifice of a father to give to our God. Our story for today is telling us about how God's plan will work in the future, how His Son will carry His cross into the mountain top or a hill. I want everybody to do their wonderful artwork that will symbolize our story for today. And of course, you have to put it in your Christmas tree. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story, and see you again tomorrow.